Americans another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song. It's 11:59.
Oops. And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, around there. And we talk about guns for an hour. Got a bunch of different people joining us tonight. We've got Angelina joining in from California. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
We've got Clover jumping in from Texas. Hey, Haas.
Howdy.
Coming up from there, we got Ghost over in Arkansas.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. And then we got Gary up in Kansas.
Thanks for the invite.
I figured tonight we'd keep it this side of the Mississippi, the good side of the Mississippi. Even though the other people can listen, we just didn't give them links. Actually, we did give them links. They decided not to jump in. That's fine. We'll keep it on the side of the Mississippi. So it will not be reserved to this side of the Mississippi for the giveaway we're about to do. Not really a giveaway, about the redistribution of wealth that we're about to do, comrades. Based on everyone's input, we're going to together randomly distribute the wealth. In front of all of them, and now it's
Is that have you turned into Gorbachev or what?
Just figure it's a more equitable way to distribute lights. We can meet at 9 o'clock. It's going to start raining. All right. So we'll get the show started, and I'll go put out some leak buckets here in a minute. Did we introduce everybody? We did. This is the Daily Gun Show. I'm distracted because I was trying to fill out this form, and then I noticed as I was scrolling through here that I missed one of the names. So we're going to be we're going to be distributing these O-lights later on in the show. It is Thursday, so we sometimes talk about training. I don't like training, so I don't talk about it that much, but we have different panelists tonight, so if we've got some kind of training topic, we're welcome to talk about that. I have a plea for the audience. After a while, we'll talk about that. And we always like to hit a gun shop every day, so we'll be talking about a gun shop, and we'll be talking about a movie more than likely. Looks like we got 17 people joining us. We're going to apologize for being late. We had a pretty epic discussion over in Clover's chat, though. I have to go put out leak buckets, so can everybody tell us about how their days went or what's been happening?
Yeah, who's going to start? I can start. Talk to several people today. For everybody that follows, been changing up some of the shows, and the particularly the Wednesday show has gotten, I think, really interesting. A lot of people seem to be enjoying that. But yeah, talked to several families / kiddos today. Got them all scheduled out for the future, which is cool. Talked to couple of manufacturers and other things that we're going to bring on the Friday show, hopefully later on. So had a fairly productive day with most of that. Next.
I worked all day, so I didn't get home until Yankee when they were on. But I thought you had a great show tonight, Clover. I really enjoyed it.
I was surprised, but thank you. You were obviously a part of that, as was Gary. But who didn't get a shout out? So I'll give a shout out now. Hey, it's a perfect opportunity. Go over, check out Gizzard Gary, and awesome stuff. He's on Patreon. Help him out, and hurry before G gets back, and plug yourself real quick, Gary. Hurry.
Well, thanks, Clover. Much like Ghost, I worked all day. GizzardGary.com has links to all my social media presences out there. I appreciate the shout out, Clover. And again, you had a great show this evening. Enjoyed it. I also sat in on C4 Defense's video earlier, which was also very good.
Sweet. Sounds like everyone had a pretty good day. I basically just worked, so that was my day. All right, so let's kick the Daily Gun Show off. Sounds like, might as well. Did you guys hear about the whole Ninth Circuit thing that just happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what do we think about that?
I think it's a good I think it's a good first step. We're kind of going to have to see where things go. There's been a lot of talk about will they overturn that? Will it go to the Supreme Court? If it does, what happens there? I don't know. I kind of just I want to live in the moment a little bit and kind of let it play out and see what's going to happen. Because I honestly really don't. I don't see them pushing the issue too hard one way or another until after elections. Anyway, that's just my opinion on it.
Right.
I read an article about it saying that it was kind of a win-win because if they leave it alone, at least they've got, the open carry. And a lot of the people, the left people out in California are really hoping that it doesn't get taken to the Supreme Court because they don't think their chances are very good if it makes it there. So they're trying to say, just leave it alone, leave it the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of where Clover is. I mean, I'm sure there'll be another circuit court that gets challenged somewhere else in the country that will come up again, which then opens a door possibly to go to the Supreme Court. But for me, I'm just enjoying right now that there's some positive Second Amendment pro 2A rulings being made, especially from the Ninth, which is historically the most liberal circuit court out there. So I'm just enjoying right now. We got a little small victory right now, so I'm all for the Ninth Court right now.
There's a glimmer of hope where I didn't think there was going to be one for a while. So.
Yeah, and it's, as a Californian and a victim of the Ninth Circuit, it's nice to see something good firearms wise, because that's rare for us. So
Well, I was going to ask you, like, what are people in California? I mean, is there hope right now, or are they just kind of blah about it?
no, we don't have any hope.
Okay.
I mean, we have, FPC goes to bat and several other pro firearms associations. They go to bat for stuff. They don't win a whole lot because that's just the climate in California and, surrounding areas, unfortunately. But, we do have elections coming up, which, they think that there's like an actual shot for a Republican winning governor seat. So that's pretty rare. So I think we'll just have to kind of wait and see until then. But yeah.
Was Schwarzenegger a Republican?
Yeah, he was a Republican. I mean,
was he actually conservative, or was he just a Republican on paper?
Halfway. He like the Repub was on paper, and the rest of it wasn't.
I got you.
Some things he was pretty good. I mean, he actually overall, as a governor, really good. California had a great time when he was governor. So, I know a lot of liberals that they even think, man, the Terminator was awesome. And there is something to say about going into a state office and seeing the Terminator on the wall.
Well, sure, yeah.
I mean, there's just like a cool factor there. But yeah, so that's I guess that's the state of California at this point. We're just kind of waiting to see. Hopefully, elections go good, but I don't know. But yeah, for our next little topic here, I thought, why don't we take a peek at TriggerCon hashtag?
Cool.
Just to kind of flip and see what's going on here. So we'll go to the most recent. Something out here from Too Hottie. He's representing gun channels there, I believe. You got here some kind of multicam patches. I'm sure there's a lot of patches going on there. Range day. Have you guys ever been to TriggerCon? Do you have hopes to go? Do you not care?
I care about it. It's so far away. I don't know if I'll ever, have the time to go do it in the summertime. This is for work. This is my busy time, anyways.
Yeah,
Right.
sort of the same here. One thing I am noticing there that's different than SHOT Show. So if anybody goes to TriggerCon, I don't see necessarily too haughty or anybody out there, but I seen some kids that look like in that picture. And kids, there's an age limit for SHOT Show. So
Right.
that,
It's not so much an industry show. It started out as, from what I understand, like a parking lot sale at a gun shop that got bigger and bigger. You know how like they'll bring in manufacturers or local people and they'll make it a bigger and bigger event. And then eventually it got to the scale of a miniature range day type of thing, media day at the range, I should say. But unlike, like you're saying, unlike the media day, it's at least last year, it was, I think one day of the range was open to the public or something, so people could not only check out something new, but like, you know, pull triggers on it, see how an optic works, actually pulling a trigger underneath it, you know.
right.
Yep.
See, I think that's a great idea.
I agree with you guys. It's the size and scale of it, and then, you know, divided by its location or whatever. It's just it's a good regional thing, but it's extreme being at the top corner of the country like that. If it was in like Springfield, Missouri, or like
Right.
St. Louis or something, you know.
Yeah, you would think it would get a lot more traction that way too. I mean, think about everybody on the East Coast. I mean, I'm far enough away, and then you get people on the East Coast. That would just be brutal.
Hey, Angelina, did that about 3 or 4 pictures ago? Was that a T-shirt that said "Tactical since childhood"?
Yep.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. That's
I've got
great.
a stick. I've got a stick just like that, by the way.
So we were talking on Clover's chat a minute ago, you know, ways to leave it on this for a second, ways to do patches or whatever, or don't leave it on that. Leave it on this one. Go. So this guy's obviously ripping off Gary, but if Gary were to do something like that, or if Rick was to do some kind of you know, goofy cat with a machine gun or some kind of weird, you know, I don't know, get the spotted dick in there or whatever his thing is, you know, that's how you move some patches to people that don't know anything about your project or anything about your live shows or anything about your pictures, right?
Right. There's a huge market for just like little animals with guns. Look at it.
Or
It's
something new. I mean, just, yeah. Anyway, thanks. I don't know what that one is. Anybody know what that one is?
I think it's like a platypus or something.
I mean, who doesn't love a blue platypus with a gun? I mean, how can you not like that?
Well, isn't that the blue platypus? Isn't that like Phineas and Ferb? Wasn't that a cartoon like years ago, Nickelodeon or something?
Take your word on that one.
I think that might have been a rip off of that. But I don't think he ever wore like a helmet and had a machine gun though. So cool points for sure.
And Perry the platypus. If that's
Perry
correct.
the platypus. There
That's
you go.
right.
What is that? Is that a cartoon?
Yeah, he was part of. I think it was part of like Phineas and Ferb.
I
maybe.
think so. I think my granddaughter used to watch some of that stuff.
So that's like an existing cartoon that somebody made one and then put a gun in its hand. That's why it's funny.
Yeah, it was Perry the platypus. It was the anthropomorphic platypus from the American animated series Phineas and Ferb. I was thinking so. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is pretty much all of TriggerCon. It looks like Range Day was actually pretty cool.
Saying stuff.
I'm sorry. What?
Two hotties out there saying stuff.
Oh, sweet. Well,
Looks like he took some pictures for Dano. So people that were interested in checking out something that they've got at TriggerCon, he made the offer. Two hottie made the offer that if you let him know over on Gun Channel, so he'll do his best to find the stuff you're looking for and get some pictures.
cool.
I tell you what I'm excited about seeing is Hottie's putting pictures out there that, I mean, are original pictures, and so it's really good to see him, you know, getting that original content out there too. He takes some good pictures.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, hopefully we do a lot of cool content on super awesome gun channels.
Right. Well, I think we're going to make Too Hottie our member of the day since he is out there doing effort for the gun channels this week and weekend, I guess. So we try to feature a member every day. Gun Channel's going into its 5th year. It's a community. We built it because YouTube was trying to not foster community. In fact, they were efforting to compete with Facebook and were pushing everybody over into Google Plus. And a couple of us who were desperately trying to use the community parts of YouTube finally decided to stop making the best of what they offered us over there, especially since it was disappearing. And we decided to use our skills as web designers and internet savvy people and people that enjoy creating gun-related stuff on the internet, and built this place. And over the years, it's 5 years now, it's gone through some ebbs and flows. It's gone through different groups of people that have used the place. It's been used for different things over the years, and going forward, we're looking at the horizon. We're looking at the stars. It's got a lot of potential, and we're going to hopefully effort towards getting it there. Anyway, so it's a community of people, and it's like 6,000 something strong. There's probably hundreds of people that use the site daily, and dozens of you that use the site a lot more than even daily. They use it as your main means of communication, and we appreciate that. One of the ways we like to say thanks is feature members of the day, not just to pat people on the back who are popular or use the place a lot, but also to feature people that you might not know are out there. And we'll occasionally, we've had like series where we go back and look at old members who you might not remember, or whatever. So anyway, today it was Too Hottie again. He's out there doing some real life, foot on the ground type of stuff, which is another aspect of gun channels that's been awesome. So last year, I guess it was Hottie and Pink and Marco and Yankee. But unfortunately, even with Trump's economy, everybody wasn't able to get out there. You never know with Yankee. You might say, screw it, and go up there. Maybe get sick of his family or whatever, doing the camping or whatever they're supposed to be doing, and goes up there for a day. But I wouldn't count on it, but you never know. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of neat to see Too Hottie carrying on the tradition and keeping a Gun Channels G at an event like that.
Right.
I think we were in Tulsa, we're in Florida, we're in Vegas, we're in Texas. So that's just this year only.
Well, what about Ohio?
Wherever the USCCA was, yeah.
Yeah, USCCA, wherever that was at.
Exactly. Right, there. Ohio. And then I think Marco went to Pennsylvania. So
yeah.
Soon we'll be covering them all. Soon we all will be gun channels.
Yep.
All right,
New World Order.
We'll just wait for Angelina.
We may need to. She's the one that kept us in line while you wasn't here.
So I'm going to jump over to the Instagrams, which is a place where you can post pictures on the internet that are square. And a couple of days ago, looks like 1 day ago, I guess, I posted this picture of my dog sticking his tongue out at some lights that they sent us. So Olight is some Chinese light manufacturer, and I don't know. I keep saying it. I don't know if you guys are getting your emails yet. At some point, you'll get on a list. And I don't know if it goes from going to SHOT Show or if it's because you got YouTube channels. If you have a YouTube channel and you have an About page, it might behoove you to put an email address in there so that they have an email address to contact you. But I suspect they send out emails constantly to everybody because I get a lot of these emails. And at some point, I don't know, I had a fly in my butt and I said, you know what, fine. I like to do this once in a while. They'll say, would you like to take this free flashlight because it's going to go on sale? And I'll go, no, how about you send me 4 of those instead? So I just did one of those replies and they were like, okay. I was like, oh, great. Now I got 3 flashlights coming. So it worked out because the one that I wanted from them was like a $20 flashlight. It had one AAA battery in it, and I needed that because my flashlight clip broke on it, and I didn't want to spend $20. I don't want $20. So anyway, they sent me a few, and I think they wanted me to break one and then give one away, and that's not my style. So I'm going to keep one because I needed a flashlight, but I'm going to give the other 2 to Gun Channels people, and I just said it in my video, and they didn't seem to be too upset. Either they can't speak English or they just don't care. So they said, hey, great. And then they said, hey, we got this big sale. So I'm like, all right, send me more flashlights. And I forgot what they said they were going to send me. And I'm like, how about you send me more than that? And she goes, all right. So she sent me these. So I did that, posted a thing on Instagram and let people nominate whoever. And I believe I have a list here. Now, my dilemma was, should I let people who were nominated more than once have more than one entry? And I decided not to. But there was no reason one way or the other. I just decided to do it this way. So I'm going to put this into a spreadsheet somewhere just so I don't have to count.
My question is how close did Marshmallow come to ripping those boxes open?
She does not care about nothing. She just sits there. What if this was a video? This is what the video would look like. She doesn't do much. She just sits there. This could be a video, except that our tongue might go in and out more.
Right.
All right, so now I'm going to go to random. I think that was Radio Shack. How has this thing got in there? Anyway, I haven't been there in a long time either. All right, random.org. And what the hell was it? 31. So we're going to go 31 over here. And we're going to hit generate. Angelina, are you back yet? Angelina?
Yep.
Which light should this one be? Which one should we be doing here? 1500, 400, 400, or this white one?
That white one.
All right, so this is for this white one here, and it's number 22, and number 22 is Everyday Civilian. All right, now we have a dilemma. So Everyday Civilian and Tactical Photographer both participated. I know both of them. I think, Clover, you said you met up with Tactical Photographer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good dude. So I'm willing to put them in here, even though they're not technically members of gun channels, but I don't know every 6,000 members of gun channels. Maybe they are members and they're just not active. So I guess we'll send what's this thing called? MIT or something. M1T, I think. We'll send that one out to him. He's a cool dude. I wanted to say he's in Michigan. And wow, talk about photographer. This dude has already been he's already taken photographs that have been on the cover of magazines and stuff. Both of these guys actually are people I'd very much like to have as resources on gun channels. They know a lot about their craft, I guess, their machines that they use, their cameras, but it's like a paintbrush or, right? It's like a marker. Like anybody can know how a paintbrush works, but being able to create interesting, appealing stuff is another thing. These guys both do that to the level of being professionals at it. Tactical photographer is like some kind of law enforcement cop, and he has access and ambition to go to all kinds of different training and stuff. So he's got just the kind of experience level that most people dream to attain. And he's not only there taking all that training in stride, but then also at the level where you can take awesome pictures of it, not just like snapshots along the way, but like has taken enough of them and been around the block a few times, so he gets excellent pictures. Worth following on Instagram for sure, and you can get him in the post over here. And then the guy one is Everyday Civilian. He's a lot younger, but following his footsteps. And again, I think an inspiration. We'll make him a member of the day one of these days, because it's just a guy who liked taking pictures, a lot like Too Hottie, and had some time. And then just like Marco, just like Pink, just like Too Hottie, just like all you guys who started going to events. He started going to events, and then he figured out, hey, the industry is human beings. It's other people that didn't go to school to be in the industry. They went to school to be teachers or, I don't know, construction workers or whatever the hell you go to school for, and then figured out after that, hey, I can be in the industry too. So he's been actively participating. And like I say, he's been on the cover of magazines and stuff, or his pictures. He's gotten paid to put pictures on magazines, so there's things you can attain to, and I think he's a good example of that.
Right.
All right, so Angelina, what's the next one? This one's down already.
One of those weapons lights.
One of these 400s. It'll be the one on the left here.
All right. Are they the same?
Yes. That button, number 17. ETP. What is this thing called? A 400. That's what I'm calling it. Although it's probably called something else. So I'm supposed to like them, but I don't. I don't like the idea of this cheap Chinese weapons light. But I think it might be appropriate for like a helmet light or on a bicycle or like any kind of accessory rail that you mount on something else that isn't life critical. But I don't want to write it off either. It's probably adequate, and maybe it's even rugged. But anyway, I'm gonna send it to you, but I'm not suggesting you use it as a weapon light. And if Olay wants to never send me anything again because of it, that's fine. But I don't think they care. I'm sure they're not listening to this. But I couldn't send that out, suggesting it's a good weapons light. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, Angelina, what's next?
The big one.
Uh-oh, the M2R. Is anybody interested in this one? Anybody been mouth-watering over this one? 16. Hopefully, Gunpowder Beauty. You're going to get a women's perspective on I think it's rechargeable, right? That's its thing? I think it's got one of them cool little buttons that's magnetized to the butt, and then you just have to set it down next to the charge. You don't have to plug nothing in or anything, so that sounds kind of neat. Button on the side. I don't know if I like that. What's that thing? M2R. So I think that leaves us with the other one, the other 400. Did I hit generate? Okay, come on. It's truly, come on. Seriously, 17, 16, 15.
That'll never happen again.
Come on. I mean, I guess truly random, you could have the same number 100 times, but still, that's
Rigged.
odd.
Rigged.
So he's getting the other 400. At least they're all staying in the family. Most of these were in the family, but we did get lots of suggestions. Clay nominated himself. That's totally appropriate. Travis was often recommended. People appreciate Travis's reviews. Ghost often recommended. Night Strike was recommended by him and Smeggy. So
I want it known that I nominated Dano.
you did nominate Dano. So did Ballistic. I believe a couple of others. Z. No, it was Ballistic who said Dano offers a useful review. A couple of them for budget. I don't remember how many of them were for, but just the one. Just Travis voting for Matt. One for Otto, for Moon. D.B. Cooper, that was an interesting one. A couple for Gary. More than one for Rupan. I think Enrique might have put himself in, and that was appropriate. Got the winners there. HVS got in there, which I'm glad because I would have to send it to Hawaii. Fire Medic, Mick. I don't know if that's a gun channels person or not. Shit. Water bucket fell over. That was a lot of good. All right, so and then Dead Horse and Dave. So Mr. Big Kid. I don't remember who nominated that, but I don't know if that's a gun channels member or not.
New guy.
Yeah, he's from Arizona. He just joined Gun Channel like last week or so.
Oh, right on. Perfect.
He's in Phoenix.
So let's see. The other one went to Midnight, who is in here right now. So he feels like maybe he's obligated to say thank you because he rigged it and somehow manipulated it to win the other light. But
I didn't rig anything.
I
didn't win.
Nope. Yeah, you totally won the other one. I thought.
Huh?
Yeah. It's good.
No.
Oh, you mean after the fact somebody didn't win? Or somebody kept voting? I thought when we ended voting, you had won.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Boom, right there. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Look, wouldn't
I didn't know.
somebody who rigged it would have said, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. How could I have rigged it?
It was Putin. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, if you'd go on gun channels every once in a while, you'd know this.
Hey. That's how I got this link. I stole it off of the gun channels.
True, he did. Figured it out. He navigated to the gun channels and found it.
Shut up. It just happened. I just happened to be home long enough to. You were late enough, and I was home. So.
Right on. Well, thanks for jumping in. So we got a couple
very cool.
going out there. In fact, here's what happened. I'm kind of a jerk about it. I don't think I held any punches. I and I fulfilled my obligation. I feel I did talk about their light, and I compared it to a Streamlight. I got no love for Streamlight. They're also made in China. Nobody's offered to give me any USA-made AAA lights. I don't even know if there are any, right? So they wanted me to talk about their sale, which I'm sure everybody's been getting annoyed with. But hey, if it worked for them, great. I put it up on a big channel, and it's got the links out there that they wanted to help them with their sale. So I feel like we've fulfilled their obligation. I don't think they want my reviews, honestly. I don't like their lights that much. So I'm going to move them off. And if you don't like them, you're under no obligation at all. If you feel like there's something you can further a relationship with Olight, I'd be happy to give you guys the email address of the contact person there. Like a lot of these companies, they'll move on. These people don't. I think the average is 19 months. I read something that most people stick with a company as that sort of a marketing rep. But might be a good experience to work with a Chinese company just to get used to it. And they're certainly easy to get product from if you want to continue doing reviews and get some experience with that kind of interaction. So if I can help with that, then that's great. But here's what's cool. I got another email from someplace. What's the name of this place? I just noticed it when I was up on the hill the other day that somebody was like, hey, I saw those reviews for Olight. You want to review ours too? So we'll have some more coming in, it looks like. Unless you guys tell me it's a wow tack. Has anybody ever heard of a wow tack?
I haven't. I've actually got.
No, I've never
I
heard
had
of
a Chinese red dot sent to me, and then today another company sent me a scope. So I should be getting that in a few days. But it's interesting to see what their technology is for a $50 scope or a $25 red dot. I mean, why wouldn't we want to at least pass all that on for people that might not be able to afford the high end stuff?
Man, I mean, I'm not going to suggest you want to. I'm not going to tell anybody that should be your main goal as a channel is to review the cheap stuff.
Oh no, not at all.
Started or just to do it. So it looks like WowTech, some other Chinese lights, but yeah, we'll see what they want to throw us, and we'll do a quick review and do the same thing. So if it helps out, great. And if it's a crappy light, you're under no obligation to act like it's anything more than it is. But hopefully,
I like the name WowTech.
Yeah, wonder if they did research or if they just found one that was open. It is kind of short, 6 characters. Can't imagine they've been around for too long. I haven't heard of them before. They only have 4 products. But Minna, you were saying that you could have used a little one. Will that one work? A little single AAA?
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see because I what I want to do. I was talking to G about it. Or under the video was my chef jacket has the pockets on the sleeves, for a thermometer or Sharpies or pens or whatever. And I actually was looking at the Streamlight stylus because it would fit in that pocket. It'd be like a cool place for me to keep a little flashlight. So I was hoping that one would, this will fit in there. It'd be really nice. Otherwise, just go pocket with it, But that would be a perfect thing for me to have a flashlight on my arm, So we'll see. Hopefully it'll fit.
Yeah, I mean, did you say you have had a Streamlight in there?
No, I almost bought one last week, and then your video popped up, and I thought, I was going to wait and ask you about it and wait till you guys talked about it. So, this works out perfect.
Wait till you rig the system and just got that one for free. We get it.
Yeah, I know people,
But I like it a little bit fatter than the Streamlight, and it's got like a weird little swirl indention or whatever, and I don't know what to call that, but so it's a little, it would probably stretch something that a stir fire or a Streamlight would fit into.
Yeah,
$20. I could not be more impressed with that big output. It has the double click, 2 clicks. 1 click is task light, 1 click is big. That I'm impressed with because the Streamlight doesn't have, just has the 1, which is I thought was fine until I noticed, or until I know that I don't know how they pull 100-something lumens out of 1 AAA battery. It's like magic.
I wonder how long it lasts too. That'll be interesting. That's definitely something I'll do. Is put the brand new battery in it, turn it on, and just see how long it lasts.
Yeah, feel free. If it burns out, I don't know. They probably won't. It's another one.
No, that's the whole idea. Let's see what happens. No, it's awesome. I'm excited to be able to do some video on it. It's different.
Oh, I dropped it in the soup. Oh, look, I baked it in this turkey, and it's still hot.
right. It works. It's great in quiche. Yeah.
This went out sandwich to a customer, and when they got mad and sent it back, it was still working.
This guy bit into it, chipped a tooth, and it still turns on. So it's good in my book.
Look, I got this in this guy's expensive glass of booze. Waiter, there's some kind of OLED flashlight in my soup. Excuse me, our chef is a YouTube tester.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. He has over 300 subscribers, so he can do what he wants, right? Big shot.
All right. We should have a talk sometime about the Chef Steve. I want to say Steve Young, but I don't know what his name is actually. But the chef from that place in Nevada, in Vegas, where we all went to that $1,000 dinner.
Yeah, they. I know we talked about it a little bit. You guys had the Wagyu and all that stuff. I can clue you in on all sorts of stuff.
I'm just talking about the chefs. The chefs.
Don't say we all went to, because there's 2 people in this room that didn't get a chance to go to that dinner.
Oh, hold on. Didn't have a chance to go?
Oh, you guys were working.
No, we were gone.
Well, yeah, that's it. You guys were already, because I was going to say, I think everybody was invited, but I think you guys, that was already after you guys had left, you mean? Like left Vegas?
Yeah, I left that afternoon.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the chef, he's doing a whole bunch of stuff on his own personal Instagram that's kind of neat, and I just thought maybe that you might be able to, I don't know, glean something from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to check it out.
What else were we gonna do tonight? That there was something else big time we were gonna do tonight. Angeline, what was the other big time thing we were gonna do tonight?
I don't know. What we're gonna do another big time thing?
All right, well, I guess I'll put this out there. What was this about? I'm going to change this to gun channels because I can't remember what my note is to myself here. Anybody that would like to participate ahead of the game for next month, we're going to be ramping things up, seeing what kind of what we can do with that money that was raised last week in Yankees gun channels telethon thing, and then kind of take gun channels to another level. So as part of that, I'm going to be asking people to record some sort of, not necessarily record because that implies video, to create some sort of a testimonial for gun channels in any type of medium or any type of way that you might come up with, and potentially something creative so that we can have something akin to like the war bonds posters or some effort like, war bonds, where a lot of different artists, a lot of different people would collaborate, appeal to different audiences in different ways for different reasons, but for the same effort. Let's get more bonds. So let's get people, welcome them to gun channels, welcome maybe the kind of people you'd like to see on gun channels. So if you like the reloading people, then put out some kind of a plea to reloaders. If you'd like to see more hunters over here, put out a plea for more hunters, or some sort of a testimonial, or some sort of effort on saying like what gun channels means to you, or am I using the right words? Like, what I mean? Like sort of like what maybe PBS would do sometimes to like show the diversity of people that are, I don't know, appreciate what PBS offers, or, that support PBS, and then for the reasons they do. Anything? All right.
Yeah,
I think
that's a great idea.
I think anything you could do. I mean, you said you have like 6,000 members. Anything you could do to show how many different people are members is really cool. I think that's kind of an attention grabber. What you do for a living. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm interrupting you, but that's exactly what I think. You summed it up better than I could say there.
Yeah, well, we all do different things for a living. We all have different jobs, families, states. Like, it would be really cool to see a breakdown of that from your archives there, or whatever, from gun channels. Like, we have members do you have members from every state? I don't really know that. I never asked that.
We must. I mean, I don't go around checking it out. That's not one of our goals, is never to keep track of who everybody is. I barely know that there's 6 members because I go look and the thing tells me. Otherwise I wouldn't know. So probably, I think just trying to remember every that's not true. Did we ever had anybody from North Dakota? I know somebody that went to a wedding in North Dakota.
That's good enough.
Yeah. And Night Strike's from North Dakota.
There you go.
No, but I don't know. I think maybe a couple of states, and some of those goofy New England states that are just extra. But we got Rick.
Yeah. It would be pretty cool to put out a poll or something and have as many people, write down their occupations as possible. And you say, we've got doctors, we've got lawyers, we got, all these different things. We're all normal people, and, we're all members of this community, and we're responsible. And, that's pretty cool. That's a neat idea. That's something that I would like to see. That's cool.
Yeah, that just feeds into the whole message of, most gun owners are just normal everyday people that have normal everyday lives. And so you can sit there and say, look, we have all these different people from all these different states, with all these different backgrounds, and yet we're all friends and we're all responsible gun owners. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you obviously, I don't know what percentage of the members you would get. There's a lot that aren't active, like you said, but Jesus, even if you got 1,000 people to put down what they do for a living, I guarantee it's 90% different. Then that's pretty impressive to somebody that's seeing it. I don't know. I think it's a fun idea.
Right up. So two hotties saying Windy Howler is from North Dakota. So we do. No, we have Puerto Rico. We have Jamaica. I don't know if we've ever had a Guam. But Ghost, you've been to Guam, probably.
I've actually never been to Guam. I haven't. No.
We have Austria too. I know there's somebody from. Isn't John 12 Gauge from Austria?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And then Vandalistica's from Australia.
Blue Phoenix is from Korea.
Yeah,
You know Canada.
and Bob's in Canada. Yeah, I think that would be a great. I think that would be really cool time. Well, to be time well spent. To be able to say we've got 15 different countries and all these different every state and thousands of different occupations, and they're all normal people, quote unquote. I don't know how normal some of us are, but you know what I mean.
All right. Gun shop. What are we going to do about a gun shop today? Every single day we like to feature a gun shop. I think Midnight hasn't been in here very often. I'm going to make him do it.
Oh, yeah, I did one a couple of weeks ago. We did that new one that's near me, and we did one that was I put one in and you guys looked it up. It was called Cole's Bike Shop. Do you remember that one?
Yep, I think so.
That was really cool. That's a neat one. I mean, there's probably. I mean, if it's okay, we can redo that one because that's a pretty cool story. It's in Carlisle, PA, and it's called Cole's Bike Shop. And at one time, what it is, the bike shop is still there. And when you walk into this place, it's off to the left. There's a little, almost, it's like a door from somebody's inside of their house. It's no big deal. You open the door and you go down this little old rickety flight of steps, and it's the basement. And in the basement, it's just this. There's two rooms. One of them is like a little showroom, and at one time, I guess back during World War II era, this guy, whoever owned the bike shop originally, allowed people to store some weapons there as sort of a cache in case something would happen. They'd have somewhere to go that would have weapons to defend themselves. After the war ended, some people didn't come back to take their guns, or didn't come back, and they left their guns there, they forgot about them, or people pass away or whatever, and apparently he got his FFL and years and years ago and just started selling them, and he turned it into a little gun shop. It's really neat. It's where I bought my AK, and it is literally like being in somebody's basement. It's pretty neat. In PA, you don't need a FFL to sell long guns either. So back in the day when this dude found himself maybe having some guns, probably just started selling them to whoever, I guess, and then eventually became an FFL. His name's Mike. Cool guy. It's been a few years since I've been there, but it's a neat place. It's a hell of a story,
Very cool. Looks like they got skateboards and stuff. So,
it's funny because when you look it up, you don't find a whole lot about the gun store. It's just kind of like a little hidden gem, There's not a whole lot about it. You just go in and if you know about it, you know about it. If you don't, it's not something that's promoted or talked about a whole lot. It's just this cool little thing in the basement.
Does it have a separate entrance?
No, you walk in. Yeah, there's Mike right there. Mike Cole. You walk in through the bike shop. Literally, you walk in the front door and it's a bicycle display shop, like the pictures there. And then you just go. There's a little door to the left, and you go. They have it locked, obviously, and you just let them know you want to go downstairs, and Mike's there. He goes down, unlocks it, goes down with you, and you do whatever. You talk about guns.
Well, it says.
I think he shoots competition too. I think
it says bicycles and guns on the signs. And
stuff. It does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not like super exaggerated or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it does anymore or not. I'm not sure if it has those. It might. I don't know.
No, if this is the current picture, definitely not. Just says, really.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
cool.
it's That would definitely be one. I know you were up sort of this way when you did the last gun show loophole tour. I didn't. I wasn't as active then. I wish I would have sort of steered you that way. That would have been a really cool place for you to go.
For sure. Hopefully, it'll be back up there again, close, soon. So,
I like awesome. What Brent out in the chat says. Awesome, a firearm speakeasy.
Yeah,
it's kind of what it is. I mean, literally, if you go on, it's like you Google it or you look up information about it. It's hard to find information about it. You can't hours or whatnot. You just kind of have to. You just kind of learn your way around. You go in and you meet them, and it's it's kind of an old timey kind of feel to it. It's neat.
Right up. Well, that's exactly the kind of shop we want to feature on the show. So I'm sure we didn't do it justice because you emailed that to us before, right?
No, I put it in the chat and you guys looked it up, but I wasn't on the chat, right? Yeah. So I mean, it was this is a little bit better because I can kind of describe it because there's not a whole lot of pictures and stuff. So it does kind of do better if you have somebody to talk about it.
All right. It is July 26th. Anything going on in history today? Or besides TriggerCon, anything coming up that anybody's aware of?
I have breaking news for the first time since Memorial Day. It's raining here, so I am ecstatic.
Oh my God, we're like super flooded out here. It's horrible.
Must be nice.
It's been dry out.
Yeah. Hershey Park has been closed for 2 days. They literally had to close the whole park.
Oh, you know what today is? 1953, the end of the Korean War. Police action.
Really?
Armistice.
That's significant.
Korean War armistice.
2003, Bob Hope dies.
It's amazing. Bob Hope was revered as this, mega comedian. But for many, many, many people, Bob Hope will always remembered as Mr. USO. I mean, he spent a lot of years really doing a lot of stuff for the troops. So he should be commended for that.
Definitely. 1964, Pentagon announces 5,000 more troops to Vietnam. And then 1965, U.S. jets attack new North Vietnamese air defense site.
1788, New York became the 11th state.
Nice. 1788, and tomorrow, the first New York gun law happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's actually, I think it's like 1910 or something. No, it can't be.
1974, House begins impeachment of Nixon.
1912, the first airborne radio communications from a naval aircraft to ship. So, first time they talked from an airplane to a boat.
Oh, wow.
That kind of changed the world.
In 657, Battle of Sippin, the first Muslim civil war.
We're such a nation of peace, though.
So that's interesting. So.
Did you say 657?
657. It was the first Muslim civil war. Yeah.
Wow.
1942, actor Gene Autry sworn into the Army Air Corps on the air during his regular radio show. He served as an officer until 1945 when he resumed his show. So he was doing live on-air radio, joined the Army Air Corps while he was alive. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
Hmm.
1890, Vincent van Gogh shoots himself and dies 2 days later.
Must have been a bad shot.
Didn't he also
22, probably.
Yeah, it probably was something small like that.
Isn't Autry the museum in LA that I went to?
Yes.
Yeah, he also has an awesome firearms museum.
Didn't he write Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer also? I think it was Gene Autry.
Yeah.
1775, Congress creates the United States Post Office.
Oh yeah, it's the post office day today. Sorry about that.
I'm surprised they don't open early.
1909.
Hold on.
1909.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Ghost is right. Autry wrote "Back in the Saddle Again," Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, I didn't know he wrote Frosty also. Man, he had a pretty stellar career.
Yeah.
Cut you off. Go ahead. Pancakes.
1909, Orville Wright sets a world record for staying aloft in an airplane, 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 40 seconds.
You know who else tried to build an airplane, and then there wasn't sufficient engines? His steam engines weren't enough to get it off the ground. Maxim, the guy who invented the machine gun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in England, a long time before these guys. People, I guess, knew about flight. It was all about getting engines that could actually be flown. They were small enough and efficient enough. But he launched something that was huge. It was massive with like 8 wings, one of them old funny looking biplane looking things, but with 2 big steam engines. So he sent it down a ramp that got it to get up off the ramp, but then it just sat back down. So he knew that it could fly, but not with his engines, and he gave up on it.
Here you go. 1903, the precursor to the Gun Show Loophole Tour. First automobile trip across the United States, San Francisco to New York.
Wow. When was that? Started today or ended today?
1903, across the United States. Completed. It said completed, so it ended today.
I think I saw a show about that, and it was super cool. Can you imagine driving across the country for the first time? Number one, ain't no gas stations, and there ain't no nothing. There ain't no roads or nothing.
Oh, in 1903? Yeah.
And everybody was either like, awesome, look at this amazing tech, or like, kill it. Kill it with a gun.
Here's our horses.
That was like Skynet of the time. They're like, oh, the world's over. Look at this. There's not even horses. No, robots.
Here's one in 1947. Harry Truman signed the National Security Act. Department of Defense and National Security Council, the CIA, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
1914, British troops invade the streets of Dublin, Ireland, and began to disarm Irish rebels. It'd be interesting to look that up and see what that was all about.
What year?
1914.
There's all kinds of stuff happening today. 1948, Harry Truman, Executive Order 9981, equality. Did you say this one? Equality for all persons in the armed forces without regard to race, color, religion, or national origin. 1948.
1908, the Office of the Chief Examiner, which in 1935 became the FBI, was created.
1971, Apollo 15 launched from Cape Kennedy. How did all this stuff happen today?
Good day.
I didn't even read it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 medals of honor. Okay. ISIS blew up something today in 2014. Imagine that.
Well, we got Nagasaki was bombed in 1945.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's on my list here. That's sad.
What it says.
Oh wait, are we looking at the same day though? I'm looking
at 26.
Oh, I'm looking at 26. Huh. All right. Well, so hopefully that was interesting. There was a whole bunch of stuff today. There was a bunch of stuff happening today, though. Talk about a movie. Ghost, you've been busy, so that's going to be a challenge for you. What's the last movie you seen with a gun in it? Do this random. Doesn't think like all guys just.
I rewatched Atomic Blonde. Was it a couple weeks ago?
I don't even know if I.
It's with Charlize Theron. It's got a pretty cool couple really good gun scenes.
All right, I'll not familiar with it. Angelina, you seen it?
I saw like part of it.
Thomas?
The movie itself was pretty crappy. It just had a couple good gun scenes in it.
I guess a half thumb, a half semi-erect thumb.
Clover?
I haven't seen it.
Gary?
I have not seen it.
And pancakes.
Didn't really have a desire to see it, so no.
I don't even know. Is it a new one or old one or?
Yeah, it's newish,
It
yeah.
came out about a year or so ago, maybe something like that.
Oh, okay. I probably haven't had a chance then. So
it's
it's
not a very good movie, but there's a really cool gun scene in a stairwell. It's pretty awesome. I'll say that much.
like Daredevil fighting up and down the stairwell type of stuff.
Yeah, kind of that kind of stuff. It's pretty good, but the movie itself sucked.
Yeah, that's kind of frustrating when there's something interesting gun-wise in a movie, but the rest of it ain't that great.
Yeah, especially when you watch it for the first time and you don't know where that scene is, so you find yourself watching the entire movie for like this 1 3-minute scene.
So it's kind of like if you watch the commercial or the previews for it, that's the best parts. I hate that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
This might be something you guys got with daughters and wives, where it's like, oh no, you're gonna like this movie, like Dad or Dear, because there's guns in it. And then, like you say, you watch like the whole thing, and there's like a 5-minute gun scene where they're like, oh no, put that gun away.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, the movie itself was not very good. It was just a couple scenes that were pretty nice. That the like I said, the stairwell scene was pretty awesome. But you can probably go on YouTube and see that, and that's basically worth the whole movie.
Mike out there saying that his son turned 26th on the 26th. I don't know about you, but if I was 26 on the 26th, I think I would expect extra shit. That should be a bonus.
If I'm 26 on the 26th, I'm going to Vegas, and I'm putting $100 down on roulette table for 26.
That's probably a good point. He's old enough, and that would be kind of makes sense. I don't know. Makes a lot of sense. At least to the local, whatever the closest casino you can practically get to, right?
Yeah, they love it.
I think you should definitely like sell your car and put it all on 26 for sure.
I don't know. Makes sense. 26th birthday. The date is the 26th.
I mean, that never happens, except a lot.
Pi Day hasn't been good except for what was it last year? It was 2 years ago when it went out to like however many numbers with the time. It all added up. It hasn't been the same since. Vanessa's asking if anybody celebrates Pi Day in March 14th.
March 14th. I mean, how do you celebrate that though? I mean,
just you run around eating pie, making fun of people that don't know.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, just try and get a better pie than everybody else, I guess.
It's Pi Day. You don't know what it is, but it's the circumference of a circle or something. I'll eat some pie.
Or that? What kind of pie? Yeah, are we talking about numbers pie or delicious dessert pie?
We're talking about the numbers that truly separate us from monkeys. The concept, circles.
I don't care about that kind of pie.
First trip.
I wonder if that's why they're called pies, because they're round. I don't know.
The first trip across the United States. How do they make gas every 100 miles? Anyone have a clue? I think they actually talked about it. And were they steam, or am I crazy? But they think they did get gas because they were kerosene or something, and you could still get kerosene because of all the things like other machines that run motors and lights and stuff. So they did have trouble, but it wasn't impossible, if I remember right from watching this show. There was gaps in the middle of nowhere where it wasn't easy. But I think they also had the railroads helping them or something. Like people knew they were efforting at this. And then
you would think if you planned your trip to kind of go through railroad towns, right? Then you could always have stuff sent to you, or probably get some type of fuel there. Yeah.
Gas used to be sold as a stain back in general stores, Cycle said. So yeah, there was solvent still for sure. And I'll bet you those engines were probably a little less finicky.
Gas is kind of dangerous to use as a solvent. It tends to be a bit flammable.
Too hotty saying that Mike Pappas was at the range day. Mike is from Silencer Co. and now he runs dead air silencers. Yeah, he's a heck of a good guy. I've known him for a long time. Owns a bunch of tanks. Or diesel? I don't think so. I don't remember though. I think it was on Amazon. If you still got Amazon, do you know? And it was something like a Ken Burns type of show. It was like one show though, like one movie, but it was Ken Burnsy. It was like a bunch of still pictures, no real recreations or anything. It was just like a. Patriots saying they shipped it to locations before they left. I think they also had some kind of issue like, oh, we'll take this in like 2 weeks, and then that took them 2 months. So I know it was like screwed up, but it was a big deal, and the whole world or the whole country was paying attention, if I remember right. So when they finished, they were getting all kinds of help. All right.
You say he owns a bunch of tanks?
Mike does, yeah. He, I don't know if he was like a mechanic or something, maybe a driver. You get the impression he likes him a little bit too much for a regular person. Either his dad or him or something was probably a tank driver, whatever. So, or I don't know, maybe he's, I don't know, you know, every once in a while somebody's just into really big.
I mean, who doesn't need a tank?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have an interesting question. We're going to wrap it up maybe with this in honor of Angelina, who understands what a real pizza is, I think, and Pancake over here. Cutting a pizza, regular old cutting it like spokes of a bicycle, or cutting it like squares? Cutting it into squares. You know what I'm talking about, cutting it into squares?
Mm-hmm.
Not like a square Pizza Hut garbage, none of that crap. I'm talking a round pizza, thin crust,
Right.
Cut it into squares. Okay, so left to right, Angelina, squares or triangles or wedges?
Triangles.
Ugh. Clover?
Triangles.
Ugh. Ghost?
I love getting thin crust because it isn't cut in squares, but if I'm cutting it myself, I'm not smart enough, so I had to cut it in triangles.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know why I asked this question now. Gary?
Triangles.
Oh my goodness. Crazy. I don't even know you people. I don't even want to ask this guy. Pancake?
I think it depends, because if you cut it into squares and you have people that you don't like eating with you, you can give them all the old crusty bits and you can save the good stuff for yourself. So, but if you like everybody, then you cut it into wedges, because then everybody gets nice amounts and nice stuff. But if you got some guys that you don't like, you know, maybe they don't like guns or something, then you cut it into squares and you just give them the old rusty, crusty crap, and you eat the good cheesy stuff.
I know what it is. It's not your people's fault. You people were just raised wrong. You never ate good pizza. So you can't be expected to know what a thin crust pizza is supposed to taste like. So I'm going to give it to you just don't know. That's the only explanation for this. But when you cut it into squares, I can't even imagine eating a Pizza Hut pizza cut into squares. Or like, what is it, Domino's? Because you would be eating pieces of bread at that point. But when you get that like cracker thin type of thin crust, the edges, I've seen people literally wrestle for the edges of, you know, the last couple of that is a whole different level. I mean, it's not a pizza, it's a snack that's pizza flavored, but that's a legitimate thin crust pizza. You can't really do it with a New York pizza or something. So I can understand if you're thinking of like a soft crust, doughy bread type of crust, whatever, like a New York style, that would be bready. That wouldn't be a great square. But
well, I know I'm a big fan of like the cafeteria pizza back in the day in the lunchroom. I love that stuff, and it was square. And I know now occasionally we'll get the Totino's pizzas, and they're square now. They're like, we changed it to a square because we save on packaging or something. And so I do cut it into squares because it's already square. But yeah, I don't get the whole cutting around pizza square, so I just don't ever cut those that way.
Okay,
I tell you, if you guys want a quick snack that's really, really good, get some Texas toast and go to the grocery store and get some pizza sauce and just put some pizza sauce on the toast and put some cheese on there and put in the toaster. Call it pizza toast. It's a great little snack and it's awesome.
Are you talking like the stuff where they've already got it buttered and seasoned, or just plain old thick cut bread?
Like like that thick cut bread. Just get just regular old Texas, like they call it Texas toast here, but it's real thick bread. And just kind of get a spoon and put some pizza sauce on there and some shredded cheese. Put in the toaster for a little bit. Get yourself.
It's really good with Italian, like you get Italian baguettes and do that too. That's really good, Ghost. It's almost like French bread pizza. Actually,
love-
it's exactly like French bread pizza.
Going back to Clover's like cafeteria pizza. I mean, that's not pizza either. I mean, we're saying pizza like coffee. People enjoy coffee in all different kinds of ways or whatever. So I guess it's technically pizza, but I mean, it's a step away from just being, I don't know, weird. But it's just bread with some pizza sauce on it. But that was certainly good. And I don't know, was it good or was it just not all the other gross stuff that they fed us at school?
No, because I remember it most when I went to a very, very small school. There was like 300 kids. I mean, K through 12 total. There was maybe 300 kids there. And the cafeteria, my grandmother actually was one of the cafeteria ladies. And I mean, they literally, it's not, my version that I'm talking about is not probably what other people are picturing, because it was more handmade. The dough was rolled out, the sauce was on there, they put the cheese, and it was just cheese pizza. All it was a crust and sauce and cheese, right? But yeah, most of the food back then it was all handmade.
I know I'm probably going to make y'all disgusted, but I used to love the Salisbury steak day in elementary school. For some reason, I loved it.
Ain't nothing wrong with Salisbury steak, bro.
Yeah, I like it.
During gravy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
pretty
like
much
sorta.
I like tell
Pretty
you
much.
what I do with that is I'll take them. I like making sandwiches out of them.
You guys have like Sloppy Joe Day? Those were great too.
Oh, now we're definitely not going. I'm not a big fan of that, but I was okay with the pizza. But now we're getting too far into lunch.
That's like a vegan's nightmare right there. Just a pile of meat and sauce. G's like starting to sweat.
It's like the day after chili. It's like Sloppy Joe Day.
Well, yeah, it's like you get meatloaf, and then you do meatloaf,
Well,
and then the
that's
next
true.
day would be like chili or sloppy joes.
Right.
I suspect it was probably like the schools said, like here's the parameter, here's what you're going to feed kids at lunchtime, and then you have a school like you're talking about. They said the most efficient, practical way to make that happen is to, cook 300 servings of it. Where you get to a school with 3,000, it's just not. You don't have that kind of cafeteria staff, so they buy 3,000 prepared foods and heat it up. So that's probably the difference. You actually had, the economy of scale where they could just cut an onion and whatever, and not have an industrial kitchen.
Right.
3 weeks earlier. All right. So I forgot that I saw that somewhere on. It must have been Instagram. It seems like an Instagram thing. I don't think anybody did it on gun channels, but I saw somewhere where it's debating the square versus slice. And yeah, there's no excuse for pizza slices. That's one of the reasons that New York ruined this country with that kind of pizza, because that gets people into some kind of lockstep that pizza's supposed to be a wedge shape. There's so much more.
Yeah, but sometimes you get those really super duper thin crust, and they're really really crispy. It's like eating glass with tomato and cheese on it. You'll like shred the inside of your face.
You do not like that, you're saying?
Nah, not so much.
Oh, please. You'll eat French bread with the same exact situation, and same just thrashing of your flesh in your mouth. But as long as it's from France, it's all good to go. But as soon as it's
No.
from
No. It's like eating shards of glass. Are you kidding me? You'll come out looking like Rocky Balboa. You'll be bleeding from the face.
with tomato glistening on the top and cheese melted all over.
Glistening.
Now, G, you spent time in Chicago. Are you a Chicago pizza fan?
I understand pizza. I tolerate you people, but I understand real pizza, yes. So I was getting at is I'm going to be heading up to hang out with Jimmy here as we kick the crap out of gun channels and the rest of the internet next month. And there are some places in Phoenix that have real pizza from Chicago. We'll go eat the hell out of one of them in front of y'all so you understand what a real pizza is all about. And then we'll go experience one of these kind of pizzas like Pancake doesn't like there, but are designed for being cut into squares. And that's so that you have middle pieces and you have outside pieces. And it's a different kind of experience than eating a big slice, it's a New York thing, eating a big slice and folding it over into like some kind of cheap pizza taco.
Well, just make sure you get lots of paper towels so when you chop up the inside of your mouth, you can, you're not bleeding all over the place.
You top it up with more pizza.
There you go.
With the inside pizzas.
Is that blood or pizza sauce?
It does 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You know what I mean?
It's more like eating matches, like because they're all burned around the edges. It's like thin sliced charcoal with pizza stuff on it. If it's a good pizza, but that also means it's the kind of pizza oven and the kind of bread or dough or whatever that they know what they're doing. Anyway, hopefully that was enjoyable. It took us over time, I think. But anything else before we head out? It's Thursday, so that means tomorrow. Did Jimmy do a show this morning? Okay.
No, he did. He put a video out.
Okay, it's getting closer to hopefully we might see early watch on a regular. Well, we will see early watch on regular basis soon, but it'll be tomorrow soon. Either way, Knives more than likely will have a live chat over on the gun channels. And who starts out Friday? Schedule wise, Bright of the People, Budget Guns and Gear, starting at 7. Then we got Clover at 10 Eastern. And then Edge wrapping it up right before this. It's a nice opener.
Yeah, if I could too. I mean, I know we talked about him a little bit, but if you don't know who Jimmy is, early watch chat, look him up. Jimmy's an awesome dude, and he's looking for a little help on his Patreon. He's looking for some funds. He's looking for people to help support him so that he can get back into doing some more, Pro 2A stuff. That was what his video was about. He's just, he doesn't want to beg for money. He feels bad, but Jimmy's an awesome dude, and he's looking for some help, for some support. So if there's anybody out there that can do that, awesome. And if you don't know much about the early watch, go back and look some up. There's some awesome shows, man. It was great entertainment in the morning, to start the day off. So I want to give him a shout out.
Right on. Yeah, appreciate that. It was always better than having like the radio on or something, which all you can do is yell at the radio, shake your fist at it, right? Maybe if you remember one of the points that they brought up, talk about it later on in the chat. So early watch was an alternative to that, where it is a live conversation. You can always, if you do have a different thing or you want to add something, you can text chat it right away if you're busy or at work or what. And then there's always a day when somebody's off for the day, whatever, they don't work that day. They could jump in, and it was that kind of, I guess, a live event happening daily. So yeah, we're going to be getting that back again. And potentially something midday as well, kind of prime the pump there, because as we effort to get gun channels to this next level, part of that will be 24/7 conversations and stuff. And it'll be a challenge to keep all that organized and then keep people aware of everything, and to then see what it's like with that growth. So hopefully everybody is interested in seeing that happen. And if anybody wants to participate in it, get with me and watch it happen. So it's going to be happening here sooner and later. Okay.
If you never witnessed Tony and Jimmy together, it was comic gold.
Oh, it's like The Odd Couple, for sure. I mean, you would have never, if you listen to them individually, you'd have never thought that those guys would do a show together and have it be successful. And I think they were successful. They did a lot of episodes and they did a lot of really cool stuff, man. But they just, they worked together great. So, yeah, I mean, it would be awesome to see them back together doing the show.
Angelina, anything coming up?
Nothing really. No.
What's going on with that Canadian art? Finish with that yet?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to finish it tonight. But I finished the whole, the seal of the uniforms and stuff.
Very cool. Saw those ones you put out today, the black and orange ones. Or is it black and red?
Which one? The patches?
Well, I saw them today. I've been up on the mountain, so maybe it's throwing me stuff from days ago. Yeah, I thought I saw like a football-shaped black and orange one today. It was some companies. It wasn't yours. It was a company's that you put up.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, it might have been showing me something from the past days. All right, well, Clover, anything coming up? What do you got tomorrow? Oh, you got what's it? H and something?
Hill and Mac. Yeah, supposedly Hill and Mac is going to be on. Talk about that Sturmgewehr.
Oh, that's right. I just did that guy's name. Meisel? No. I just did the card for the guy that invented the Sturmgewehr.
Oh, cool.
Ghost, what you got going on? You said you've been busy at work, but you're still managing to get some.
Just working. Trying to try to get to the range Monday. I've been taking a day off on Monday. Try to get to the range and shoot about 4 or 5 videos there.
Have you taken attendance yet?
Well, you know the show's like just about over, right? Yeah. Dan,
Well, if you haven't taken attendance, I'm here to get credit for being here.
It says that you're already punched in, so I'm not sure what you mean. Did somebody punch in for you at the beginning of the show? And
I refuse to get anyone in trouble on my behalf, so no comment.
And then pancakes. Within this weekend.
Not a whole lot. Still got a show, Sunday night, 10:30 Eastern. I did put a video out this morning about Ruben, doing a Ruben. Mr. Fine Ape won a trivia contest we did on the show, and he wanted to see a Ruben video, so we did that. It's gotten a lot of views and a ton of comments. I think people I think it's fun. So, if you want to check it out, leave some comments, and always leave suggestions for things that you might want to see,
You still do the thing on Patreon where they get to order you around? Let me tell you what to make.
Yeah. Yep. If you're a $5 Patreon subscriber or whatever, once a month you get to choose an ingredient that I'll build a dish around. Yep.
And then you take the ingredients from each of those $5 Patreons and then make one dish with all of those.
That's one of the either that or you do separate videos. But I think I only have one $5. I might only have one or two $5 members right now, but Smeggy's one of them actually. And the last time he suggested a video, he said eyeballs. So I'm still trying to work on that one.
Eyeballs. Well,
yeah.
Put it in there and then tell them to eat it blindfolded.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, coming from a snowman, can you use coal for that or something?
It's possible. Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well,
before you end the show, Angelica, what are you up to?
Marty got asked.
Yeah, look at this guy. He comes in way at the end and then makes us go back and.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize she had already been asked. So.
Yeah.
It's going back in time.
Just making sure, our girl representative has been given a chance to say her piece.
Oh, that's kind of you, Dano.
No, I feel like you weren't here since the beginning, like your time clock said.
I have no comment.
All right, well, so that was the show. We will be back tomorrow at the same time. Wait, did we do everything we were going to do today? I think we did.
Just Dano.
Anybody have a quote? Bob put you up to this? Seen him out there.
Yeah, I got something real simple. Get them before they get you.
Oh, Bob did put you up to this.
That's pretty ominous.
Playing some kind of games. All right. That's it, I guess. That's our vote. We'll leave it on that one. Oh.
Now you're going to do the sound effect before you hit off air, right?
No, they took my damn did a cow shit in here video. I was going to do the cow shit in here one. They took it. I'm going to win. We'll just end with this then.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Watching gunwebsites.com.